Hello everyone, Charles Watts here, the Arsenal correspondent at Goal, joining you on Monday, the start of another week, and Arsenal have just announced a signing. We will talk about that later on in this video. Of course, that is Matt Turner, the long-awaited confirmation that Matt Turner had joined from New England Revolutions. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Also discuss Daniel Ballard and his potential exit, which has hit a big hiccup in the last couple of days, and so we'll talk about him. But of course, we'll have to start with the big news, I suppose, around Arsenal right now, and that is of Gabriel Jesus. It's been an on-running saga for a while now, but it is coming to an end. Reported on Saturday or Friday night, did a video on Saturday morning about how Arsenal had agreed a fee with Man City over Jesus. Well, now that has moved forward, and Arsenal have now agreed everything with Gabriel Jesus as well on a 5-year contract. We just really await confirmation of this deal. Now, don't know when that is coming. Has been suggestions it might even be as early as today. But Gabriel Jesus now is just one step away from being an Arsenal player. That step is really just confirmation. Really exciting signing when this goes through. He's the player that Arteta wanted. He wanted him to come in and lead this new look attack that is being built at Arsenal. He's been kind of playing in the shadows almost at Manchester City with Aguero ahead of him, and then even when Aguero left, he's kind of been in and out of the side. Pep's liking his false nine system, and he's got the chance now to be main man at Arsenal. Arteta wanted him. He wanted to bring him here to be exactly that, the main man, like I said, the kind of spearhead of this new look Arsenal attack that is being built, and he is bought into the project. Lots of other clubs interested in him, but Arsenal is the club that he has chosen. Really exciting for everyone. I've seen all the comments on social media about him, and it's tough to look at it and not be excited about it, really. He's a really good player. You kind of think of the way Arteta wants his teams to play and his forwards to play, and he just ticks all the boxes. There is that one big sort of question mark, I suppose, that hangs over him. Does he score enough goals? You look at his numbers, never scored 20 for Manchester City, which in that sort of City side you look at and think, is that good enough? And that is a question mark. It's one that he's going to have to answer himself when he comes to Arsenal. But when you actually look at him in terms of minutes per goal and goal involvement, he's right up there amongst the very top. It's been really impressive in that regard, and he's done that all the time while being, I don't want to say a bit part player, because that is perhaps a little bit unfair, but he hasn't been the main man. That is what's going to happen at Arsenal. He's going to come in. Yes, Eddie Nketiah's there, and Eddie will get opportunities. He will be playing games and starting matches, but certainly, and Gabriel Jesus has been brought in to be the main man at Arsenal. That's just blatantly obvious, and he's going to be. He can obviously play central striker. He can play out wide as well, so he's going to bring versatility. He's going to bring incredible pressing ability and intensity. And Pep called him the best in the world when it comes to pressing and high intensity runs from the front. And we all know that that's exactly what Mikel Arteta wants from his players. It's what Eddie brought to the side when he came into it in that last couple of months last season, and something that they'd lost completely when Lacazette was playing there after the turn of the year. And Eddie came in, and it was just really noticeable how much more energy Arsenal had going forward, and how much more pressure they were putting on the back line and defenders. And that is exactly what Gabriel Jesus is all about. And I think that, you add that into this Arsenal attack, it's going to be really impressive. And you would hope as well, with the creativity that's going to be behind him, with Saka, Martinelli feeding him from out wide, with Smith Rowe, Vieira, Odegaard, of course, behind as well, he's going to get plenty of opportunities. And when you look at his goals, I think he's only scored once from outside the area in his whole time at Manchester City. He is a penalty box striker, a penalty box forward. That's where he gets all his goals. And when certainly Lacazette was playing, Arsenal just didn't have any sort of presence in and around the penalty area, and certainly when it comes to the central areas. And you would think that that's exactly what Gabriel Jesus is going to bring, and his record, when you look at his numbers, certainly back that up. And there's no one that Arteta was so keen to bring him in. There's been plenty of other players they've looked at in terms of the forwards, but since for the last few months, it's been pretty clear that Gabriel Jesus has been the priority. And now, Arsenal have got their man, and it's going to be really interesting to see how he performs in the team. I mean, you would presume he's going to get the number 9 shirt. It's there for him. It's a shirt that hasn't exactly brought a lot of luck to Arsenal forwards in recent years. I think you go back to probably Alan Smith as the last really successful number 9 at Arsenal. There's all that talk about the number 9 curse and all that, and you would hope that that Martinelli is just going to, sorry, not Martinelli, Jesus is just going to come on and not worry about that, and he's going to hit the ground running. We're going to see an Arsenal number 9 scoring goals again. And you look at Saka, if he's going to, depends, obviously we don't know what's going to happen with Arsenal's move for Rafinha yet, but if you kind of look at Arsenal's front three at the moment and think it's Saka, Jesus, Martinelli, the pressing, the energy, the ability to win the ball back, that is just going to cause defence an awful lot of problems. And I think you kind of look at the recoveries or the tackles that forwards have made in the Big Six last season in the Premier League. I think sort of 2 of the top 3 or 4 were Martinelli and Jesus, and you just think defenders are going to come to Arsenal at the moment and think, oh God, we are going to be in for a hell of a game right now. And certainly central areas, I don't think they've had that feeling for a long, long time. So really good news. We wait to see when this is going to be announced, confirmed. I can't tell you right now when that is going to be. I've seen suggestions it might be as early today, but I can't say that myself. So we'll have to wait and see. But we are, like I said, just one step away now from Gabriel Jesus being officially an Arsenal player, and it's getting him on board now before pre-season, before they go away to the United States. I mean, that's going to be massive. It's going to give him time to bed in, to adjust to his new surroundings, build up a rapport with his teammates. So many times we've seen Arsenal be kind of lackadaisical almost in their approach to the transfer window, leave it too late, rush everyone in at the end, and it's taken a while to adjust. Getting him on board early, getting Vieira on board early, that bodes really well for the new season, I think. So really good news when it comes to Gabriel Jesus. From one potential sign-in, or very close to sign-in, to guaranteed, confirmed sign-in, Matt Turner, the worst kept secret, if you can call it that, is now official. He is an Arsenal player, will wear the number 30 shirt. Arsenal confirmed the news this morning. Really nice video, actually, they announced for that. Matt Turner, massive Arsenal fan, although obviously he was born in New Jersey, United States international. Big Arsenal fan. You've seen all the pictures of him growing up wearing all his Arsenal shirts, and Arsenal did a nice little sort of video centred around that with his arrival, with his kind of confirmation video this morning. So it was really good. If you haven't seen it yet, go out and check it out. And he's been speaking. He said, it felt like a long shot, but why not dream of putting my team's shirt on one day? So I dedicated my life to working at my game and being the best player and best person I could be. Now I was able to realise a dream. This is one of the best days of my life. Great. I mean, what's not to love about an Arsenal fan signing for Arsenal? You can just, you go back to Cole Jenkins and people like that, and just think that the feeling that it must be to actually do that, especially if you're someone like Matt Turner as well, sort of grew up in the States, would have felt a million miles away at one point of even potentially being able to happen, and now it has happened at the age of 28. Great news for him. He'll come in, provide real understudy for Aaron Ramsdale. We wait to see what happens with Burnley now between now and the end of the window in terms of where he's going to go, how they're going to get him out. I mean, I'd be very, very surprised if it gets to the end of the window and Leno is still here. They're working on a deal to get him out right now. And for Turner, this is what Mikel Arteta had to say. Matt is an experienced goalkeeper who will bring high quality to our squad. He has shown with his performances in recent years in both the MLS and at international level with the States. He is a goalkeeper who will give us added strength going into next season. We welcome Matt and his family to the club. Look forward to working together. I mean, you think Matt Turner's certainly going to get lots of game time next season. Probably not in the Premier League, barring any injuries to Aaron Ramsdale, but cup competitions, Europa League group stages, that sort of thing. It's just a second choice goalkeeper nowadays. You do get plenty of minutes. It's not that you're just sitting on the bench for the whole season. So we will get to see him. Like I said, we'll wait and see what happens with Bernd Leno. But Edo's also been speaking, says, we are delighted that Matt is joining us. Matt is a goalkeeper with established qualities and experience. He'll be a great addition to our squad. We identified Matt some time ago and worked hard to ensure that this transfer was complete so he could join us in time for pre-season. We now look forward to Matt joining us, settling in and working ahead of the new season. So again, they're getting your signings done early, getting him in for pre-season so he can spend the whole pre-season at the club, adjust, meet the new teammates, acclimatise, all that things. It's so vitally important and gives you so much of an added boost going into new season if you can get things done early. Obviously, it can't happen all the time. That is perfectly understandable. Some transfers, plenty of transfers, go right up to the end of the window. But if there is a way of getting the deals done early and you can do it, then it's so beneficial. And the fact that Arsenal have done that with Vieira, hopefully done that with Jesus once the confirmation comes through, and they've done it with Turner, is that's going to put them in a really good position going into new season, I think. And I don't think that can be underestimated at all. And we wait to see if another big arrival can arrive before certainly the trip to the United States, which is in a couple of weeks' time. Arsenal do return for pre-season training today. Not the players who have been involved internationally during the summer. So obviously a lot of those, your Sakas, Ramsdales, people like that. But all the other non-internationals, they're due back at Colney today. They'll be doing all the medical checks, testing, all that sort of thing. And then obviously we've got the trip to Germany coming up. That'll be a very young squad going there. Then the internationals come back after that trip to Germany. And then they've got about a few days and then they head off to the United States. So we'll wait and see if any other new arrivals follow Matt Turner and hopefully Gabriel Jesus through. Can they get something done for Rafinha? That's the one that's going to be all focus is going to be on once the Jesus confirmation does come through. And if you do manage to get someone like Rafinha before you go off to the United States tour, then there's a large chunk of your business already done this summer and on board at early doors. And for Arsenal, that just feels pretty mental, because it just doesn't happen, does it? We're always scrambling around in the final weeks, or it certainly seems like we are anyway. Okay, one deal that hasn't happened, which is a real shame, is Daniel Ballard's move to Burnley, and it was all agreed, all done between the clubs. It was a case of going up, doing the medical, agreeing personal terms, but it has broken down at the last minute. For now, whether it can be rekindled, I don't know. But as of right now, he's not going to be going to Burnley, which is a real shame, because he's going to get a move, no doubt about it. There's so many interested clubs. Arsenal, they had to turn down clubs because he chose Burnley. So it's just going to go back out onto the market again now, and he will get a club, and a really good club. And Arsenal will get the same sort of deal for him. But it just feels like a bit of a shame for Daniel Ballard, because he obviously wanted Burnley. He chose Burnley over everyone else. You had the Vincent Kompany thing there, which was a major factor in him choosing Burnley in the first place. So it's a shame. It felt like a really good move for him. A club who'd just come down from the Premier League, who were very much determined to get themselves straight back up at the first possible attempt. Like I said, Vincent Kompany as your manager, who wouldn't want that as a young centre-back? So it just felt like a really good move for him. So it's a real shame that it hasn't quite worked out and it's fallen down right at the very last hurdle. But these things happen in football that's what I'm talking about with Jesus, until they're literally there, pictured, holding the shirt. You're always a little bit wary that anything can happen at the very last minute and turn everything upside down. But Ballard will be all right. He will get a move this summer. Arsenal will get, as I said, the same sort of deal that they would get from Burnley, from the other clubs, because there were so many others in there for him. And I'm sure it won't be too long until we find out exactly where Daniel Ballard is going. And it will be a top club in the Championship. I'm absolutely 100% sure. And that's about it today. Like I said, pre-season has begun officially today. Wait to see if Arsenal do anything in terms of that, as in any videos, pictures. But like I said, all the non-internationals were due back at London Colney today. Always a big moment, that you kind of feel like we're getting there. We're getting towards the new season. We've had the fixtures come out, then the players start filtering back to the clubs. Then you end up getting into friendlies, and then suddenly the new season's bang on top of us all. So it won't be too long until we start thinking about that game against Crystal Palace on the Friday night to open Arsenal's season. But for now, thank you very much for watching. Keep your eyes peeled. If anything happens with Jesus, if we get confirmation, it'll all be all over my social media, and I'll do videos and that sort of thing. So keep your eyes peeled. Goal.com for all your Arsenal news. And have a very good day, everyone. Enjoy your Monday. I'll speak to you soon.